Now you know there's only one thing we're going to be talking about right now. Errol the Truth Spence Jr. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
They hear him. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
What's up with it, fam? It's Hot Boxing Minute. Let's talk about Errol the Truth Spence Jr. in that performance. Out there in a packed Dallas Cowboys stadium, what I heard there was close to 40,000 people. Errol the Truth Spence Jr. put a punctuation mark. He put a punctuation mark and unified all the straps. He now has the WBA, the WBC, and IBF straps. He beat a very game Yordenis Ugas. I hope y'all were watching that fight because it was very important for boxing, period. Yordenis Ugas came out of the gate alive, dog. It was touch and go. It was pretty evenly matched. It even got a little bit hairy. Hairy is the right word I think I would use. For Errol Spence in that 6th round, he caught a nasty shot from Yordenis Ugas. He did the whole, Chico Corrales thing with the mouthpiece. It spit out, lost track of where he was, got discombobulated, got cracked a couple times, fell back against the ropes, garbage officiating because it should have been ruled a knockdown. In the end, it didn't even really matter. Errol the Truth Spence Jr. got that payback in the 7th round and slowly cranked up the pressure, running those uppercuts. That was definitely the move for him. The uppercuts. He was throwing so many consecutive uppercuts and catching Yordenis Ugas leaning down. It eventually busted that eye open. Doctor stoppage. What was it? 1 minute and 16 seconds left in the 10th round. We now officially have a king of the welterweight division, a unified champion with 3 of the 4 Infinity Gauntlet stones. Errol the Truth Spence Jr. And the best part about it was in the post-fight. In the post-fight, he mentioned it, yes, Terrence Bud Crawford. I think we're finally going to get that fight. I have never heard Errol Spence speak with so much conviction about that fight with Bud Crawford. The one fight, the holy grail of fights that boxing fans have been wanting to see and clamoring for years. Let's talk about that performance with Errol Spence Jr. 17 months of inactivity or something like that. Coming off the car crash. Didn't look so impressive in his fight against Danny Garcia, even though he got the nod. This Errol Spence Jr. was looking like man down. The Errol Spence Jr. that I witnessed tonight looked like the old pre-car crash Errol Spence Jr., if anything, improved. So now he has all 3 belts, and he's even calling out Bud Crawford's name, you guys. Let me repeat that again, you guys. The Errol Spence I saw tonight looked better than the pre-car crash Errol Spence and unified all 3 belts and then even proceeded to call out Bud Crawford. I think we're finally going to get that fight. What did you folks think about that performance? What do you folks think about Bud and Spence finally happening? I need to hear about it in the comment sections, y'all. Y'all better leave something. I was nonetheless impressed with that performance by Errol Spence. Beautiful stuff. Got to share my feelings with you. So, really quickly, let me get off that subject and talk about a couple of other fights that happened tonight, or actually earlier in the day. I want to talk about what I saw with Pitbull Cruz against the old man, Yordenis Gamboa. Look, I want to like what I saw from Pitbull Cruz, but I have to take it with a grain of salt. Yordenis Gamboa is 40 years old, coming off a long period of inactivity, and he got mowed down pretty nasty. Pretty nasty by Pitbull Cruz. Can we really gain or glean any new insights into Pitbull Cruz off of that performance of mowing down clearly a shop-worn Yordenis Gamboa? In the comment sections, y'all, you tell me. Well, you go online, of course, Ryan Garcia comes out and says, hey, let's do it. I want that fight with Pitbull Cruz next. Pitbull Cruz in the post-fight says, we gave you that opportunity. We're on to bigger and better things. I applaud Pitbull Cruz's confidence. Don't get it twisted, folks. As much as we like what we see from Isaac Cruz, Ryan Garcia is definitely still the A side and still the dominant force in the contract negotiations. Should that fight happen, do I want to see Isaac Cruz fight Ryan Garcia? Hell yes. Do I think Ryan Garcia is ready at the present moment? I'm not too sure on that answer. I got mixed feelings about that. Ryan Garcia had, a win, and he washed the cards against Tego, but is he ready to fight Isaac Cruz at this present moment? I'm going to be a little hesitant, but Ryan Garcia seems very confident in his ability to beat Isaac Cruz. So I don't know, folks. You tell me. Is Ryan Garcia ready for Isaac Cruz? Let's chop that up in the comment sections too. Y'all let me know. Because personally, I like Ryan Garcia. I like Isaac Cruz. I don't think now is the right time for them to have that fight. I think Ryan Garcia should take one more touch, get his chemistry and his body movements together with Joe Goosen in at least one more fight before he starts taking out any of the big guys. Ryan Garcia is still supremely talented. I'm not taking nothing away from him. I can separate the hype of what he's created with his social media following from what it is he does inside the ring. I think y'all should do too, until we actually see some real concrete evidence that there's some decay in Ryan Garcia. The man is still undefeated, still has a crazy knockout to win ratio. Give that man his flowers while he's here. Give Isaac Cruz his flowers while he's here too. But I'm just saying, listen, Isaac Cruz had a dominant performance, but can we really give him credit for what we saw tonight against Yordenis Gamboa? All right. Last subject I want to talk about. What we saw with Conor Benn. Conor Benn demolished Chris Van Heerden from South Africa. And up until this point, Chris Van Heerden had only gotten 2 losses. If I'm not mistaken, it was against who? It was against Errol Spence Jr. was one of them. And for the life of me, I can't remember who the other one was. But Errol Spence Jr. took 8 rounds to demolish. 8 rounds to demolish Chris Van Heerden. Conor Benn did it in 2. So I'm all aboard the Conor Benn bandwagon. I don't think he's ready for a Virgil Ortiz Jr. or a Boots, but I definitely think he's ready for anybody in that 5 to 10 ranking in the welterweight division. Stanionis, Butayev, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman. To be honest, I really think Conor Benn would do well. So based on Conor Benn's performance against Chris Van Heerden, do you think he's ready for the number 5 to 10 ranked in the welterweight division? The Stanionis, the Butayevs, the Keith Thurmans, and Danny Garcias? In the comments section, y'all, let me know. Let's chop this up. All right, one last thing, because I'm going to pack it all into one thing. This has been a big fight day. I want to talk about Alicia Baumgardner, the bomb. Successfully defended her WBC and IBO belts against, let me get her name correct, Edith Matisse, who, if I'm not mistaken, is Lucas Matisse's younger sister. Look, this was a last-minute fight. They both had like a week or maybe less to prepare for this. Edith Matisse did come in a little bit heavy, and I thought it was a great performance. It was easily a wash on all the cards. I think all 3 judges had it 100 to 90, so that's pretty much a 10-0 shutout. And I got to give it up to Alicia Baumgardner. She showed a lot of great things. She was very selective with her shots. She wasn't looking for the knockdown. She was very accurate and precise with her punching in her location. Great footwork, explosiveness, and movement. The next step for Alicia Baumgardner is going to be, what's her name? Hyun Mi Choi, who has the WBA featherweight belt. And, of course, the other unified featherweight champion, Michaela Mayer. What did you guys think of Alicia Baumgardner's performance against Edith Matisse? And how do you think she fares against Choi and Michaela Mayer? In the comments section, y'all, we got to chop this one up too. All right, y'all. That's going to be my final outing for this little special episode. I just got really hyped off the results of what I seen from that fight with Yordenis Ugas and Errol Spence. I wanted to cover what I thought were some of the major fights of the day. I know there was a lot more fights going on. Stanionis Butayev. We also had Rayo Valenzuela effectively ending Fernando Vargas' career, but I don't want to spend too much time on all these videos because the main thing I wanted to get out was Errol the Truth Spence Jr. is going to be fighting Bud Crawford. Yes, sir. Hit follow if you haven't already done so. Leave a comment, hit like. You guys know what time it is. This is Hot Boxing Minute, y'all. The future of boxing analysis on this platform. Peace.